So, thoughts after driving the Wetzlar. This is a follow-up video to the installation video that I've already posted. And I've got some video of the car while I'm driving, so I'll speak and then show some of that stuff while I'm driving. So, what do I think? It's definitely a high-quality piece of hardware, and like I said in the previous video, I really like the quality of the assembly, and it used bearings instead of bushings, and it's definitely going to last a really long time. My car, as I've said before, only has about 9,000 miles on it, so there isn't a lot of wear on it. And you can see in some of my other videos, I've got some shift quality videos of the car before I did anything to it, and it was good before. It really didn't show much difference when I did the Shift R 111 and the SSC cables, although I can see those as well being much longer lived. So as far as the Wetzlar goes, again, I didn't find that it actually made the shift feel more direct, but I can see on some of the more worn systems that it definitely would. But it is definitely of high quality. And now, I chose, again, one ring back from stock, so a little bit shorter cross gate, a little bit shorter shift gate, and I think it's noticeable. But it's not night and day, like I said. I mean, I didn't want to go night and day, and I didn't. It definitely has a nice mechanical feel to it. So I'll show some video of the shifts, and the shifts are very crisp. They feel really good, so you can watch and see. I'll show shifting into first and second and third up through the gears. And yeah, it feels really good. So here's that. What I did do by accident in one of the videos that I'm going to show next is I'm going up a hill. I meant to hit second and I accidentally hit fourth, and you can kind of see in the video over my shoulder that I did move it over a little bit and pulled it back, but when I let go you could see it was clearly in fourth and not in second. Obviously I noticed as soon as I hit the gas, and the RPMs were really low. I should have downshifted, but I didn't. Actually, I'm kind of surprised at the low end torque this engine has. But anyway, here's that. Okay, but the only downside that I found is the rattling noise that I was getting at about 4,500 RPM. And I didn't take a video of the before the Wetzlar, but what I could do is, like say I was in third gear and I was getting the rattling, I could move it a little bit and it would go away. I'm pretty sure that rattling is somewhere in the transmission. It's not here, and you can see in the video, the next video, I've got the console off and I was moving or touching the components in here to see if I could make something stop rattling, and it didn't make any difference. The only thing that made a difference is sometimes you can see I was moving it back and forth a little bit, and that would quiet it. But hopefully it shows up in the audio. I can hear it in the audio, but there's a lot of noise in the car, and I don't know if you'll be able to. But it's definitely there. The car is noisy anyway, so it's a rattle sound that wasn't there before. It is a little annoying, but you know, obviously I'm going to live with it. So here's some shots of the rattling noise. Okay, so you could hear the rattling noise. Like I said, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. It again wasn't there with the completely stock system. It showed up with the SSC cables and the Shift R 111. I don't know which one caused it or emphasized it, or maybe it's in the eyelets and the cables. I don't know, but I kind of feel like it's in the transmission, but I have nothing to back that up. So anyway, so the nice thing is that this is not a Cadillac or even a Porsche, and so that noise is, yes, it's not a pleasant noise, but it kind of is fine with the character of the car. It's not a quiet car by any means. My car actually is very squeak and rattle free. But even with that, there's plenty of engine noise, and there's plenty of noise from road noise and that kind of stuff. So so I'll deal with it. I'll live with it. But I do, like I said, I like the way the shift works. I do like the way it shortened things up. So I mean, for anyone interested, there is a little play left, and you will never get rid of that play. That's in the transmission. And as I've shown in other videos, even the Miata, which is a direct transmission, has that amount of play in it. So the in-gear play won't go away, but it doesn't matter. That's not a big deal. But yeah, I like it. I'll say it's definitely a worthwhile upgrade if your car is making has really sloppy shifts. And it's a fine upgrade even if it doesn't. I am getting a squeak in fifth there. I don't know what that's from. But the other thing that this did fix, because I went to a shorter throw in the crossgate, is I used to get a click as the reverse went over, and actually the Shift R interfered with one of the little clips that hold the boot on to the console, and because my travel is lower, I no longer get that click, which is kind of nice. So there's reverse. So that's final conclusions. Make sure and give me any comments or questions. I'm happy to answer anything. Thanks.